Well, thank you very much indeed, Graham. We're in Durham for round 2 of the Pearl Izumi Tour Series, and every time we come to Durham it evokes memories of gladiatorial struggles for me, and it's all about being able to get up the tough cobble climb. They approach the base of the climb and then it's a sharp right-hander on this clockwise 1.4 kilometre circuit. On the extreme right are the team leaders of the competition. That's Team Rally. They are wearing the red jerseys as team leader, and right in the middle there, wearing the gold jersey, is the leader of the IG Sprint competition, Mike Northey. There he is. You can see him there. He'll be out to try and add more points to the tally he amassed in round 1. But Brian, this is without a shadow of a doubt a brute of a course, and it's all based on that climb.
This is the toughest circuit of them all, and it's produced some really hard racing over the last few years. Christian House won this race last year with a lone breakaway, but again, this is all about going as fast as you can in the first few laps, thinning it out, and in fact, contrary to what happened in the Kirkcaldy, where the fastest lap was done by Janto Barker with 5 laps to go, you've got the fastest laps, I think, is going to be in the first part of this course.
Well, right in the middle of the mix there was Ian Bibby. He, of course, is carrying the legacy of the crash he incurred in round 1. He's got bandages on his arms and plasters on his legs, so he's bruised and battered. But believe me, Bibby is a very courageous and talented bike rider. Well, the field are getting very near now to the right-hander. It's an adverse camber, and that sets them up for the ascent for the first time. And this will give you just an idea of how hard it is.
Well, luckily enough, it's dry here in Durham. If this was wet, there'll be riders like last year sliding out. You can just see the straw bales on the left-hand side, but it's a dead turn, and then it's straight up this climb. You have to get your gearing right, otherwise you'll be slipping and sliding all over the place.
It's one of those tight, narrow courses in places, so you need to try and position yourself as near to the front of the peloton as possible, so if it fragments, you will be in that leading group and not playing catch-up.
Yeah, it's good to see some of the other teams mixing it up, and I think for me, Ian Bibby making it back after his crash in Kirkcaldy might make the difference between Madison Genesis team tonight, because they were probably disappointed from the first round in Kirkcaldy.
Well, we caught a glimpse just there of the man in the black strip. That, of course, is Christian House riding on Rafa Conda, JLT. There he is. Now, he loves this course. He won it last year, and when he won it last year, he won every sprint as well. Now, I can tell you, when he was talking to the PA commentator before the start, in the interview, the question was put to him, you must be delighted it's dry. He actually countered by saying, I prefer to ride in this race when it's wet.
Yeah, when it is wet, it's a lot easier to ride from the front. Obviously in the dry, a wee bit harder, but as soon as these neutral couple of laps go, the motorbike moves off the front of the peloton, the pace will be up right from the start. A lot of nerves. This is the sort of race, it's very fast, and it's very important to be fast in the first few laps to thin it out. Otherwise it gets very difficult, and that bottom corner gets very dicey.
Rider from MG Maxi Fuel there. They were a team that didn't really figure very strongly in the first round, so maybe tonight they could make their mark. But you've got to look at the quality of the teams. Team UK Youth, very, very strong, and of course, Team Rally. Now, there we are, rider from Team Rally. Well, lots of smiles at the moment. They're all friends, aren't they? But once the switch goes down and they get onto that climb, it's going to be a very, very cruel competition. And it's Rally at the front already now. The motorbike is pulling away, and now the pressure is being applied.
Well, the best way of the defence is attack, and you see the red jerseys as the race leaders of the Rally team on the attack right from the start. This is obviously their goal. The goal of to win the Tour Series is about being consistent. They were attacking right the way throughout Kirkcaldy, and again coming here to Durham for the second round on the front and attacking again. Team
IG Sigma Sport sitting there in 3rd place as well, and you can see the vibration coming through the bikes there as they come onto the cobbled section. Mike Northey of Note 4 Giordana, the leader in the IG Sprint competition, is also taking close order, back in about 6th position.
You would think that a lot of the riders from Kirkcaldy would be featured again in this race. You're only talking about a matter of 2 days between Kirkcaldy and Durham, but I think a lot of the teams have probably swapped a couple. You do enter 10 riders. It's only 5 that ride on the night, and you are allowed to swap them per round. So I think a lot of the teams might have swapped 1 or 2 riders into their team for this specific sort of event on this cobbled climb.
Crowd loving it. One or two riders dancing on the pedals there, but now they settle back into the saddle and finding the good rhythm, and just holding the head of the contest here at the moment is Team UK Youth. Their manager David Pobell will certainly have worked out some good tactics.
But the tactics are the same for Gustafsson, again going on the attack right from the start. It's the Frenchman for Raleigh, Alex Blaine comes. He had a very strong round in Kirkcaldy, likes this style of racing. You've got to remember a few years back he won one of the rounds in Southport. He normally goes well in a Tour Series event or bad in a Tour Series event, but it looks as if he's really enjoying his time with Raleigh in the Tour Series this year.
Right, we're into the first sprint lap, and you are right about Blaine. He's adapted very, very well to the British road racing scene, and he's one of the men, of course, that won the hardest of all the road races on the UK calendar 12 months ago, and that's when he won the Rutland Classic. So Blaine, he's right up there in the mix, looking for more points. He won sprint number 1 in Kirkcaldy.
On the right-hand side, you've got the Node 4 Giordano on the orange. Christian House again at the front for Rapiconda GLT. The riders in red in the left-hand side from Raleigh. You see some of the Madison riders with the light blue shoulder and the black shoulder. MG Maxi Fuel up on the left-hand side. So we're starting to pick out some more of the teams as we develop into this Tour Series.
Well, I tell you what though, Brian, Team Raleigh are riding very, very well here. You can see 4 of them very, very close to the front, so should there be a surprise attack, they would be there poised, ready to bridge to it. But Christian House on the right, I must admit, he looks very cool this evening.
Yeah, it's all about putting as many riders towards the front. We can see that there are 5 red jerseys in that front group. Some riders starting to be tailed off the back, and the Raleigh riders in the red are just anticipating the attacks coming. It's not all about the individual performance on the evening. Again, it's a team race. It's about placing as many of your riders to the front as possible.
One of those riders that were tailed off there is a teammate, actually, of Christian House, and that was Ed Clancy, the Olympic gold medalist for the Team Pursuit. Clancy finding this very, very hard indeed. Now then, Raleigh coming to the front and beginning to apply the pressure, trying to distance themselves from the rest of the field. House reacts and comes right into the wheel of the Raleigh rider, and also there's a member of the Node 4 Giordano team there, and there's a little bit of a break developing here, Brian.
Yeah, starting to get grippy out there. It's the Scotsman Evan Oliphant for Raleigh at the front, but just coming over the top, it's Christian House for Rapiconda GLT, but you can just see the red jerseys are there in prominence at the front of this race. You got to remember that it's a team of 5, but I think most of the teams are looking for 3 very good individual performances tonight.
Well, he jumped from the corner, just over 100 metres to go, and House coming up to the line first. He's carrying on where he left off last year because he won all the 3 sprints last year, and he takes the first IG sprint of the night here in Durham. Evan Oliphant of Raleigh was glued to his back wheel.
Yeah, obviously Christian House set his sights out tonight to put some confidence into the team after a fairly difficult performance in Kirkcaldy, setting his sights on the individual sprints of the evening so far.
So Christian House draws first blood of the night. He's over the line to collect the 5 points, and this little group now have gone slightly clear as we confirm the rest of the places. Oliphant got second for 4, Blaine, the Frenchman, coming in for third for 3, Lampier getting the 2, and Gustafsson picking up the 1. But a little group starting to go away. It's early days, but this is an indication of the kind of moves that we're going to see forming through the race.
Has commenced.
We ready?
For 12 hours, all crime is legal.
We'll be fine, just like always.
Your government thanks you for your participation.
Just remember all the good the Purge does.
The Purge in cinemas May 31st.
Dan, are you mad? Hey boys, we're up here.
Our colours can change more than just your walls. Dulux Endurance is up to 20 times more party-proof than our standard emulsion. And right now, Dulux testers are 3 for £1. Pick up yours in-store or online. Dulux, let's colour.
Back then, Somerset farmers made cider for the harvest workers. And they'd go from farm to farm until they found the best. When they got to Thatcher's farm, they'd stop looking, which got William Thatcher to thinking, maybe they should plant a few more apple trees. These days, nothing has changed. See one taste of Thatcher's gold, and you'll just know.
South Australia, I was born. In South Australia, around Cape Horn.
Now the test begins.
HSBC, celebrating 125 years of the British and Irish Lions.
This is Coral Casino. Online and on mobile. New players get a £10 free play casino bonus. Play now at coral.co.uk. Coral, raising the game.
At Curry's PC World, we've a huge range of laptops to suit everyone's lifestyle. Latest models like this HP Envy X2 running Windows 8, optimized for touch. Light and versatile, it's an ultra-thin laptop with Beats audio that detaches to be a full touchscreen tablet too. Featuring Intel inside and up to 14 hours battery life, it's two brilliant devices in one for $699. Plus, our know-how experts can help you make the most of it with free setup and show how. Curry's PC World, we can help.
Imagine me and you, I do. I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about.
With a Freeview Plus recorder, you can be in total control of your telly. You can pause and rewind live TV. And even record an entire series. With a Freeview Plus recorder, you never miss out. How good is that?
Breaking news, the Daily Mail's Daily Lottery has given its readers over £1.5 million. And now you've twice as many chances to win. Every copy of the Mail has a unique number on the back. Match yours to the lottery lines inside and you could win the daily jackpot. Daily Mail, Daily Lottery. Double the chances to win. Every paper is a ticket.
Style or substance? We believe you can have both. The new Audi SQ5.
Well, welcome back to Durham for round two of the Pearl Izumi Tour Series, and I can tell you that that peloton has thinned down significantly through the severity of this course.
Well, sure, in fact, the severity has caused a major reaction in the peloton, because there's only just under 30 riders left in the front of this race. The rider from UK Youth there, Gustafsson, just going round that corner onto the climb. He's already so far set the fastest lap of 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
So that's not hanging around. Hello, this is Janto Barker, the winner of round one, and he's got a problem. It's either a mechanical or a puncture, and he doesn't look particularly happy either.
Well, the situation here is if you have any mechanicals or any problems with your bike, you have to get to the pits and no laps out. So he's got to chase and try and come back to the front of this race.
So Team UK Youth are providing the bookends of the action at the moment. And Janto Barker trying to limit the distance he trails the back of the peloton. Meanwhile, the action continues to unfold at the front, and they are picking up lap riders left, right and centre here. I think you're a little bit generous with that 30, Brian. I would say there's only just over 20.
Yeah, that was in fact James McCallum already a lap down in the right-hand side for the Rafa Condor GLT team. They were already on the front. You can just see the gold jersey sitting in fourth place. He's come up towards the front because we're onto a sprint lap. You can see that here the klaxon goes. So Mike Northey taking a wee bit of thought about the next sprint.
Felix English in the black strip of Rafa Condor JLT, right near the front. The Irishman, who actually enjoyed the honour in the European Sprint Championships, of getting the better of Chris Hoy, and Hoy having to come back in that competition to the repechage. So he'll have that in his CV for the rest of his career. Also near the front is Christian House, inevitably.
Just looking at the colours, and it looks as if we've got 5 red jerseys still in this front race. So again, Raleigh showing strength here. You've got 3 blue jerseys of the UK youth, the team that finished second in Kirkcaldy. Obviously missing Yanto Barker. We can see what 2-3 from Madison Genesis team. So thinning out the teams, but still looking very strong in the red jerseys of the series leaders.
And we did catch a glimpse of the green and white as well, so there's a rider here from Team Hope Racing Factory amongst this group, but it has thinned down dramatically. Being controlled on the front by Team Raleigh, and of course Sherry Pridham, who is the director sportif of that squad, will have worked out a game plan for tonight.
And they're just trying to pick out more of the teams. James McCallum in this race, we've already mentioned him in this front peloton, already a lap down. So for me, there seems to be only 2 riders from Rafa Condor GLT. We noticed 3 with the orange, the Node 4 Giordana. So a lot of the teams down to 3 of the riders, and it is a competition where 3 riders have to place as best as possible on the finish. So they can't afford to have any mechanicals or any other riders drop from this front of this race.
This is a big effort off the front from the Team Raleigh rider. This is Tom Scully. Scully trying to go away here and put Christian House under pressure. Good track rider Scully, former Oceania points race champion, and he's using that speed to good effect here on the cobble climb. Yes, you've done good work there. He looks back because there's now 2 riders going away with him, Niklas Gustafsson and also Christian House. So this trio have now got clear. Good move here. Now then, who's going to grab the points on the line? Looks like Scully's going to lead it out. House doesn't look as though he wants to challenge. Scully takes the 5 points. House gets second for 4, and Gustafsson over the line third for 3. Now then, they've got an advantage here. Are they going to profit from this?
And this is Alex Blaine taking 4th in that sprint. He placed in the first sprint, and just on the left-hand side, Felix English taking the last spot in 5th place for Rafa Condor GLT.
So if Blaine can get up to that group, they are looking to be in a very strong position. Rally, as we confirm the rest of the places, it was Felix English that grabbed the 1 point at the head of the fragmented peloton. He came over the line 5th. You saw the flick of the elbow there from the rider at the front. That's the professional signal to say, coming through, take your turn at the front.
But they don't seem to be pushing on too hard. Mike Northey for a Node 4 Giordana is pushing hard at the front to bring these back. They were one of the teams that were towards the 4 in Kirkcaldy, and they don't really want to miss out and let these 3 strong teams of Rafa Condor GLT, you've got the Raleigh and UK Youth push on up front, so they want to close this down, and that's why Mike Northey's come to the front.
And Northey started the night as a leader in the sprint competition, sponsored by IG, but he hasn't scored tonight. So his lead is under threat because Christian House has notched up 9 points so far. Now then, Gustafsson looking as though he wants to go away here.
Well, it's the same in Kirkcaldy. He rode tremendously well until he got his mechanical, and then obviously he had to miss a few laps and didn't feature. It looks as if he's really on form. He loves this climb. Raleigh still pushing hard with Scully, with Christian House behind. But one of the Madison Genesis riders just coming across to join him now in this climb.
Yes, Madison Genesis rider has bridged and made the junction with the leaders, and looks very much to me as though he wants to get on with it. That's Andy Tennant, former World Team Pursuit champion. Tennant from Wolverhampton, now based in Manchester. Always rides well on this circuit in Durham. Long, rangy figure, and he now is beginning to stretch the field out as they once again come to the summit, and they're picking up more lap riders.
Well, it's nice to see the Madison Genesis team come to the front. We said earlier on that they had a difficult time in Kirkcaldy, especially after losing Ian Bibby, one of their stronger riders. But this is the sort of course that will help Ian Bibby. We've not seen him too much at the moment, but definitely Andy Tennant stringing the riders as they cross the finishing line.
That was Lachlan Norris on the left for Raleigh, just injecting pace. He's obviously revelling on the cobble climb. He rode well in the recent Lincoln Grand Prix that goes up a similar ascent. Micklegate it's called, and he finished 3rd in that race at the end. So 1 or 2 of the riders figuring at the front here. are enjoying the demands of the climb.
I just noticed when they passed the pits area, John Herity of the Rafa Conda JLT team was shouting some instructions to Christian House. They look as if they've only got 2 riders in that front group.
Well, still trying to get back to the peloton is Janto Barker, and he's got Dale Appleby riding for the Metal Tech Knights of Old squad, but they haven't got back to the back of the bunch yet.
Well, it's going to be a very difficult chase for Janto Barker, the winner, the individual winner in Kirkcaldy. But on the attack, as we just said, Ian Bibby, we haven't seen him giving it big licks on this climb. You can just see the bandages in the elbow and the knee from his crash in Kirkcaldy, but putting that behind him and going on the attack here in Durham.
The legacy of the crash not affecting Bibby, such a talented bike rider, former national cyclo-cross champion Bibby, and he's won a couple of rounds in the Tour Series over the years. And Bibby, if he can get clear, will take some pulling back. I remember when he rode up Constitution Hill at the end of the stage in the Tour of Britain, he chased down Albacini all the way to the line when he took a very creditable second on a similar climb to this, but it was peppering with rain on that occasion. So Bibby now has established a lead.
This is a serious attack now. Bibby, a very quality, good rider, coming up to the clacks in the third of the sprints, and just look behind. It's the Rafa Conda JLT rider, Christian House, probably the man of the race so far, trying to come across to Ian Bibby.
Yep, the race really is imploding now. It's in bits behind, and it's Bibby, the man on the Madison Genesis squad. And they are managed by Roger Hammond, a former World Junior Cyclo-Cross champion. So Hammond will be delighted with this move, and it's Bibby now putting the rest under pressure.
But just look at the damage that Ian Bibby's attack has done. It's caused a reaction from Christian House. With the group behind us thinned out, there can only be about a dozen riders. Just seen at the bottom of the picture here, Janto Barker, who tried to chase to get back on, and now is blown completely with the attack of Ian Bibby.
Well, after basking in the kudos a couple of days ago when he won round 1, I'm afraid he's called it a day here in Durham. And it looks to me as though Ian Bibby is sitting up and waiting for Christian House. That is a wise move, because if these two now start to settle down to share the workload together, they will take a lot of pulling back, because they're two of the very big favourites.
It will cause a reaction from the other teams. Remember, this is a team race, and there's no red jerseys from Raleigh in that front group, so they'll be interested in trying to get someone across here.
Well, Christian House has already had 1 win and a second so far in the IG sprint competition, so he can't get any lower than second on this one. They're already on the climb ahead. I can see Andy Tennant, there he is, sitting in second position as they sweep round the right-hander. And I must admit, there's a few tired legs starting to creep into this.
Yeah, 2 of the other Madison Genesis riders were sitting second and fourth place, so they won't be wanting to chase their teammate in this climb. But just looking behind, Christian House keeping the pressure on, and we see the youngsters having a great time here in Durham.
You know, I think Bibby's struggling a little bit to stay in the wheel of Christian House. He's got such a lovely, rhythmic, deceptive style House at the front. He was brought up in Texas and then raced in Belgium, learning his trade before he settled down here. He has been the British road race champion a few seasons back. He's such a talented rider to have on your team. So at the front in the black famous strip, it is House, and going well, riding for Rafa Conda JLT. Well, nobody in sight, so this advantage is beginning to build all the time, as they're going to pick up another back rider here. Is House going to take the 5? Doesn't look as though Bibby's going to challenge. Here comes House, so that means he's picked up 14 points tonight, so that is a very good points tally.
Well, Christian House does look at ease in this circuit. Ian Bibby just gives him a turn. It looks as if he struggled that lap, but we see Scully taking the 3rd place, trying to come across to the front 2.
And let's not forget, there are still points available to the leading 2 riders at the head of the peloton. Roman van Uden then getting the 2, Andy Tennant picking up the 1 point. But it's been a good night for Christian House. He's been there throughout all the sprints, and that is confirmed. He's the king of the sprinters for tonight with 14 points. And also tying with Ian Bibby on 4 points is Evan Oliphant. Now this brace of riders have taken the race by the scruff of the neck, and the field in shreds behind, and such a talented duo to give the rest of the field a slip. Surely they're not going to be allowed to stay clear.
Well, you've got Team UK Youth finishing second in the team competition in Kirkcaldy, trying to pull these 2 riders back, and Christian House pushing on, just wanting to see where Ian Bibby is now, because it looks as if Christian House is on his own, and in fact Ian Bibby has been distanced by about 20 metres on this climb, so Christian House not looking back, intent on trying to keep the pressure on.
Well, the King of Durham, Christian House, at the front on his own, exactly where he wants to be. But I'm afraid to say it's the end of the race tonight for winner of round 1, Janto Barker.
Is something getting in the way, like ED, or the urinary symptoms of BPH? Talk to your doctor. Help is available.
Any recommendations for tonight?
Discover more of the TV you love with S recommendation on the new Samsung Smart TV.
Meet Neil. He used bespoke offers to get him and his girlfriend great savings on gig tickets. Oh dear, someone's not happy. So then he used it on his mobile to get a bespoke discount on flowers. Oh, nice touch. Whatever you're into and whenever you want it, with thousands of bespoke offers, it's easier to find the right offers for you.
This week, take advantage of Halford's low prices. This Exodus roof box, perfect for all your extra luggage, is better than half price. Now only £199.99. And this Aventura 4-man tunnel tent with 2 bedrooms and separate living space is now only £39.99. You can also save 30% on this rally hybrid bike with 18-speed Shimano gears, perfect for both on and off-road. Now only £149.99. Halfords, get outside.
Okay, so you want to watch the big game live, but you don't have Sky Sports. Well, now you can with the Sky Sports Day Pass from Now TV. For the first time ever, Sky Sports is available pay as you go and can be streamed to loads of devices.
Breathtaking, quite incredible. Sensational! It's an absolute showstopper!
Pay as you go, Sky Sports, only on Now TV. Get your day pass for $9.99 at nowtv.com.
Hold on!
Star Trek is the UK's #1 movie. Critics are raving. It's spectacular.
Come on, it's gonna be fun.
Star Trek Into Darkness.
Welcome to the Man Manual. Instructions for the modern man. Man's armpits are a groundbreaking achievement of design. They are multi-purpose. Warning, failure to look after man's armpits may lead to malfunction. Maintain them properly using Dove Men Plus Care Antiperspirant. It's tough on sweat and protects skin with a quarter moisturizer technology. This leaves man's armpits multi-splendid. Dove Men Plus Care Antiperspirant. Tough on sweat, not on skin.
With Betway, you can now bet in play on all major sports via your computer, mobile and tablet. And with an amazing £50 risk-free bet to get you started, wherever you are, you've always got the best seats in the house. Betway.com.
Experience the new Samsung Smart TVs with S recommendation. See the widest range at a Curry's PC World store near you. We can help.
You've built your own business, so now build your own website. Choose from countless designs made specifically for your industry. You can customize everything and make changes anytime. Enhance your website with powerful apps and integrate social media. With search engine optimization tools, everyone will find you. A website created by you. oneandone.co.uk.
Well, welcome back to Durham, and laps are ticking by, and Christian House, the race leader, where he wants to be. finding the neat line and pedaling the good gear, and the rest, well, it's mission impossible.
Yeah, I don't think they're too worried. 4 laps to go now for the peloton. They're not too worried about Christian House. He's got 24 seconds and still tapping out a 2-minute 30 lap. And just looking down the line to see if he's got any other teammates in this front group. I think there's one down towards the back, and that could be Richard Handley.
Out for Giordano at the front here. And in second position, it's the rangy rider Tennant on the Madison Genesis squad. And the line, well, it's a thin line, which tells that the pressure is being applied at the front, but Christian House is flying. Here he is, and I really don't see anybody having an answer to this.
No, it looks as if he could be, for the second time in a row, taking the individual win of the night. He's already taken the sprints crown of the evening. But we have to pick out the teams in this chasing group. Just noticed that are 3 riders from the leaders already from Kirkcaldy, and that's in the red jersey, that's Raleigh. We also have 4 riders from Node 4 Giordano, including the gold jersey of Mike Northey. 3 blue jerseys from UK Youth. Only 1 rider from Rafa Condor GLT, but 3 riders also from Madison Genesis. And it's nice to see 2 green and white jerseys from the Hope Factory Racing team in Oldham and Greenwood.
Yeah, Oldham, another former national cyclo cross champion, just like Bibby, and they are adapting very, very well to the circuit. And just to take the point that Brian made a little earlier, it's all about the team championship this, so you've got to place as high as possible 3 riders from your team, and those places are added together, and it is the team that scores the least points that emerges as the team champions. Team Raleigh, of course, were the winners in round 1 in Kirkcaldy. Team UK Youth second, Madison Genesis were third, and Node 4 Giordano were fourth. And it is noticeable here that it is those 4 squads that are figuring strongly again here.
Yeah, we're starting to see some more of the teams coming up from the first round in Kirkcaldy. You've got Node 4 Giordano still on the front, just catching back markers all the way around the circuit. They do take the back markers out with 3 laps to go. Christian House is passing the line there, but again, just being chased, not flat out, because they are thinking of the team competition on the evening.
So they're all racing for second place, but how important is that then in this team competition? 3 laps to go. It's always nice, of course, to bask in the kudos of the victory as the individual winner, but it is, as I keep reinforcing, a team competition as they sweep past the pits, and we haven't seen many punctures this evening.
Well, it does look as if there's a bit of a lull in the action. Christian House looking for that individual glory on the night to go with these team competition, as we see 3 laps to go, some of the back markers being pulled out now.
Yeah, that's a retirement for number 64, David McGowan, on Metal Tech Knights of Old. But that's the size of the group that's left here in the shake-up for the leading positions. It has thinned down dramatically.
Yeah, they're starting to jostle a bit. Ben Greenwood for Hope Factory Racing Team comes to the front in the green and the white. Christian House still in front with about 20-30 seconds, but most of the riders now in this group thinking of the team win. They want to get 3 riders across the line before any other team.
Interesting to see whether any of these riders try to jump clear in the closing stages and avoid the sprint.
There's a good possibility there, but with this climb, everybody was saving as much energy as possible for the final climb, because it's a very difficult finish. Team Raleigh, the winners from Kirkcaldy, got 3 riders in here, so they want to keep it together as much as possible. These are the back markers. You just look at the black jerseys, Ed Clancy and James McCallum just in here, just about to be lapped, and that's the Rafa Condor GLT. Christian House only has 1 rider in that chasing group, so it does look as if Rafa Condor GLT are not having a very good night on the team competition.
And 2 riders from Metal Tech Knights of Old about to be lapped. The man on the right there was Kit Gillam, and there's more riders here off the back that are going to see the Express go by shortly, and that's Christian House. There he is, just tucked in the wheels of that cluster of riders coming up to the line now. There he is in the black strip of the Rafa Condor JLT team.
Well, it's quite unfortunate. Christian House has caught these back markers inside the last 3 laps, so most of these riders that we see in the picture have been lapped within the last 3 laps, so they'll try and continue to the finish, because some of them are the third counters for the team competition.
Well, he's full of riding here, isn't he, Christian House? Malcolm Elliott won this race in 2010, and he had a real tussle on that occasion with Christian House. and it was Zach Dempster that won in 2011. Last year was Christian House, and he's looking to replicate that top podium position here again tonight. Ed Clancy looking back, and he's looking for his team leader. There he is. That's Christian House, who's picked that group up for a lap and now sets off to complete the concluding stages here of the stage in Durham.
Yeah, not always the best feeling to be lapped in a race like this, but words of encouragement from the Olympic champion Ed Clancy to his leader of the race, Christian House.
So House now will just ride a ceremonial final lap and a half before he raises his arms with the victory salute, but it's all about concentrating on this group and who is the best sprinter. I still think we might see a rider trying to go away.
Yeah, well, it's the big rider, Van Uden for Noordvoort Giordana. Rode well in Kirkcaldy, leading the field, but again, nobody willing to take it on. Everybody waiting for this sprint up the last time on this climb.
Yep, it's going to be a bit of a nail-biter. But for this man, he's ridden out of his skin once again. Brilliant riding then by Christian House. And he really does love this circuit. Rubs his hands with glee immediately we come here, and immediately pressure goes on. He's right in the mix. House just tapping out at the front here.
The thing is, Hugh, with only 3 riders from UK Youth and Raleigh, there's also 4 riders in for Noordvoort Giordana. They don't want to attack, they don't want to put themselves in the red, because having 3 riders, it might mean that you will lose a position on the finish. So they're waiting and keeping all their energy for this last lap dash.
Well, his form shining like a beacon around this 1.4 kilometre circuit, and he's going to get the bell this time, and believe me, that is going to be music to his ears. 1 lap to go for Christian House, as one of the lap riders tucks in behind him and enjoys the pace here of the express train as it goes by.
Just going through the pits here for the last time, John Herity on the right hand side, just giving Christian House some words of encouragement. Struggling a wee bit in the last few laps, the gap now coming down slightly, but Chris Opie for the UK Youth just struggling in this course tonight. Featured very well in the Tour Series last year.
Well, coming to the head here now are riders from Team Raleigh, and they are hoping, of course, to once again tidy up the team award. I'm just wondering if any of the other squads can derail their chances. You can't dismiss the Team UK Youth, can you? Even though they've lost Shanto Barker, they've still got strong presence. Meanwhile, at the front, House, well, he can just pick and choose his line here, can't he?
Well, the big battle for the team competition is behind Christian House. It does look as if he has got this one in the bag. Tremendous ride again on this circuit. He loves this circuit, and again, for the second year in a row, wins the individual and the sprints competition on the evening. But this is where the battle is going to be for the team competition. It's all about getting as many of your riders to the front round this corner, and there'll be a lot of jostling for positions.
Yeah, you can see that there's a little bit of twitching going on in the field behind, and gaps starting to appear as riders are trying to position themselves ready for the charge for the line. And it is going to be some sprint, and there's so much depending on it, of course. Team Raleigh in those red leaders jerseys, the Pearl Izumi Tour Series leaders jerseys are there. One further back, he'll need to move up if he's going to give his leaders support. Meanwhile, Christian House just out of the saddle here for the final time as he comes to the right-hander, the elbow that'll lining up for the run to the line.
I think everybody, when they finish, will be glad when they finish, and you just see the pain in Christian House's face. He's got enough of a gap as he comes up against Felix English, his teammate on the right hand side here, just lapping him inside the last few hundred metres here. But again, team competition, it's all about the guys behind, because it doesn't look as if Rafa Condor GLT have Richard Hanley in the group behind, so it means that they might slip down the finishing order at the end of tonight.
So House getting near to the turn, the sweetest turn of all. He's tamed the course and conquered the opposition. Here he comes, he's in imperious form. House, as he will raise his arm with the victory salute. An emphatic display of riding by Christian House gives him the victory here in Durham. The second win in a row then for House. He won 12 months ago, and he's also won the sprint competition tonight as well. Now then, we've got to concentrate on the sprint for the line to see who's going to get over the line first. Well, I can tell you that was Toby Horton from Team UK Youth, and we're going to have to look at the other positions, because Raleigh, remember, have got 3 riders there, and we'll be out to get this team award.
Well, we definitely know who won the round of tonight, and that's that man here, Christian House. Another tremendous result, but very confusing on the finishing line for the sprint for the team competition as they lap riders on the finishing line.
let's not forget there were 3 riders from Raleigh wearing those red Pearl Izumi Tour Series classification leaders jerseys amongst that group. But here's a chance to look at the images of the victory salute. And of course it was Christian House for the 2nd year in a row that crossed the line first. Smiles all round. Great victory then for the rider from Rafaconda JLT.
So a 2nd consecutive Durham win for Christian House. Once again, nobody could live with the Rafaconda JLT man over the cobbled climbs. Here's the confirmation then of yet another individual victory for him in the Pearl Izumi Tour Series, comfortably ahead of Tobin Horton of Team UK Youth and Roman Van Uden of Note 4 Giordana.
OK, Christian, we said at the top of the programme you were the man to beat tonight. Fantastic performance. How did it go?
Well, it was that was hard. That was really hard, but you know, I was biding my time, and you know, we had 3 to 4 guys in that group for a long time, and I didn't really want to do anything until you know, if that was the case, because we want to try and keep everyone together. But as soon as I heard that we only had 2 guys left, I kind of knew what the situation was, and was then kind of eyeing for the individual win, if you like. So when Bibby attacked, it was a brilliant attack, and I thought it was the right moment, and I just kind of waited a lap until I got the right opportunity, and rode it straight across to him. And he had a bit of a mechanical, but he got back onto me. And but then the next lap, I said we really had to go, and I think he just ran out a bit of his steam. But and then it was just kind of head down and ready to go, you know, all the way to the finish.
Our race winner Christian House also took the Sprinters gold jersey for securing the most points in that competition. He's level actually with Tom Scully, but he wears the jersey courtesy of the countback system. Raleigh have really transformed themselves this season. Another win for them as their top 3 riders all finished in the top 10 again. Good performance as well from New Boys Madison Genesis. They were 2nd on the night with Note 4 Giordana in 3rd. So in the overall standings, Raleigh stretched their lead at the top. Team UK Youth are in 2nd and Madison Genesis move up to 3rd. Unsurprisingly, Raleigh keep the new Pearl Izumi Tour Series red leaders jerseys. They waited 5 years for a team win in the Tour Series, and then 2 came along all at once.
It was getting pretty fragmented with the race there. There was a small group. We had 3 in it. Obviously, we wanted to chase down Christian House and get the win ourselves, but we had to keep the teams in mind. So we kind of kept it pretty aggressive, and then just going into the last few laps, just gave it everything we had. And luckily, we got 3 guys over the line. So we hold the jersey for the teams.